So this is session 4 of Getting Ready. And today's group who asked John what they should do were the soldiers. Now they had a job to do. They were there to keep law and order. There was no police force at that time, and so really it was the soldiers' job to police. And we have some examples of soldiers who did very kindly things and looked after people perhaps when they were treated unjustly. But in some of the more remote parts, there was not a lot of supervision of the soldiers, and so there was the possibility for them to take the opportunity to abuse their power. They could extort money by force, or they could make a false accusation against someone and then blackmail them to pay up to get the charge to go away, and so on. And John says to them, be content with your pay. We know the saying that all power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we certainly see this when we see a dictator who's living in luxury while his people live in poverty and fear. That's an extreme example. But power is something that we can all use wrongly. We can see power being used by someone to manipulate others into doing what they want them to do. Now, one power might simply be you are the adult in the family. I remember giving a second-hand pair of Ugg boots to a 12-year-old who didn't have any warm slippers or anything, only to find out a week later that her mother had commandeered them for herself. She'd used her power as the adult and blow the kid. Now, that's not a very big thing in the scheme of life, but it was misusing her power. Some marriages can be very manipulative. Some people can use sickness or disability to get everyone else to look after them and do things for them. We can see power being wrongly used by bosses, and especially those who bring workers over from other countries, bring them in illegally, and then exploit them working for very low wages, and they feel they can't speak up because they know they're not legally here. It's probably easy to see how other people abuse power. Not so easy to see it in ourselves. Sometimes the power we hold might simply be the respect that other people have for us. Now, it's good that they have respect for us, but it can be easily used to get our own way. And I think clergy can fall into this trap very easily. You know, well, the minister said so, so we'd better do it. Our power might be that we rarely say anything. And one day we speak up and everyone goes, whoa, she's really stirred up. You better listen to what she's on about. Philippians chapter 2 verse 6. Who, being in the very nature of God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant. And this is the model for us. Jesus was a humble servant to others. His thoughts were only for one, his Father, and two, for all the people around him. And maybe a way for us to prepare for Christmas, make ourselves aware what power do we actually hold, and recommit ourselves to being servants of God, serving those who are around us.
To be served heart with sorrow was torn.